Good morning. I gotta tell you, Marky Goldberg, when I wake up and I do these streams and I can see you wanting to come on, man, that just gives me power.
Does it?
I gotta tell you something, Mr. Goldberg.
Power of
I
breakfast.
gotta tell you something, and I gotta tell you something now.
Gotta. Go ahead. Tell me.
It's a great honor to have you jumping on, man.
Well,
I was floundering for about an hour yesterday. Floundering.
Where are you?
Floundering.
I believe that's why I received multiple texts saying "Save Archie," but I was at a movie. I couldn't.
That's okay.
Yes.
No, I got the dates wrong because you said you come back on the 12th, and I thought, oh, okay, but your 12th is today. I got the dates wrong because I just am. You know, I'm in different.
Yeah.
Let me say to you, man, I've been so disappointed lately. We got our good friend, Cuntrash, Bateman. You know, when Bateman, you know, his nickname around the office was Cuntrash.
Cuntrash?
Cuntrash. Rash.
Oh, I think Cuntrash is probably a better.
AI image. He likes to say, "Oh, Arch, you got some sins in slappers." Yeah, well, you know what, Cuntrash? I'm not jerking off. I can see how he's never left. He hasn't got a passport. He's never been anywhere. And what's he going to do for sex? Okay, let's be honest there. Okay, at least me, I travel. I'm a traveler. But our good friend Cuntrash, the women in the office, that was the nickname they invented for him, Cuntrash. I mean, let's be totally. Where's he gone?
I don't know. Hold on, I'm having trouble.
What are you doing?
Give me a minute. I'm having Wi-Fi problems. Wi-Fi problems. And look who we have here. Oh well, let's fight over.
Aussie expat. All I wanted to say is, you know, he criticizes me, but himself, you know what?
He's nothing without you.
See, at least me. You can criticize me. At least the women in my life, they would have done anything for me.
I mean, let's face it. Bateman is like,
none of them had nicknames like Cuntrash when they were talking to you. They were saying, what an idiot I was for telling the truth. That's what they said. That's what you've told me, Marky.
Without you, he's a door dasher, and nobody knows his name. He's lucky to get a $5 tip on a McDonald's order. But, you know, hey, I don't think you should worry about it. I think you should, worry about Aussie expat and his real estate problems. That's where I think you should really put your focus.
Seriously, can I just ask you something? Marky,
yes.
One thing about you is, okay, you're in your 60s, okay, let's just leave it at that.
For the moment. For a little while.
You've been around, you've seen business, like me and you, we've both had businesses that were doing fantastically, we made a lot of money, and then they died in the ass.
That can happen. That can happen.
It can happen fucking fast.
Uh-huh.
But I just want to ask you, Mr. Goldberg, what do you think of Aussie expat? Swillionaire. He could buy me and you many times over.
Yeah.
What do you think of his idea? He never wants to buy a house. How does that?
Well, I would, if I were him, I would be living in hotels. I wouldn't even cook. I just have room service. But he's got kids, so he needs schooling and stuff like that. But I admire. I love what he's doing. He's not beholden. He can bug out anytime he wants to. I think it's a beautiful thing. Freedom.
I'd be in an apartment.
You always want to own your own home, like you never be homeless?
I'd be in a hotel room. I'd be like hotel to hotel to hotel.
Actually,
just look on my Goda.
Like if you had more than 10 million Australian dollars,
yes,
would you ever really worry about being homeless?
Who are you talking to?
You. Like if you had more than 10 million Australian dollars.
You fuckface.
Would you really be that concerned?
Now, let me say to you, I've had a number of businesses. I've done a number of things in my life. And the thing that shocks me is you can go from a period where you are making fantastic money, you've got some stashes, you've got a few collections, you've got this, you've got some reserves, and I've seen it turn to shit like when I say quickly, I'm talking within 6 months. It's gone, the environment has changed. the circumstances have changed, and you think, fuck, from being a king to being completely.
Usually that only happens with leverage and
Margin
assets like
calls.
real estate. Like it's very hard to take an S&P 500 heavy account and then say you're effed forever, because that would imply USA is effed forever. That's not.
Look, I tell you, if I had $10 million, right, I'll be honest with you, I would be much happier, right? I would be. But the thing is, you know, the funny thing is, I've met many people who have a lot of money, and a lot of them are miserable fucks. And I've met people who are very poor, who are very kind, very generous, and you think to yourself, fuck, maybe the money makes you a cunt.
I don't think it can. Like I think the people who are cunts are more likely to make you aware they have the money. That would probably be
Goldberg. What's he doing?
Yeah.
What's he doing?
But Archie, I think the issue is that the ones that are more likely to make you aware they have that kind of money, and they're not doing it as an educational thing, like they're just flexing on you, they're clearly more likely to be cunts. You get what I'm saying? It's hard for a poor person to flex on you, and then you have a judgment about all poor people, quote unquote. Looks like I'm only on stream. I should start showing some stuff. So I was almost going to buy.
Sorry about that. I've got
today.
this most stupid mouse. Let me show you this mouse.
Yeah.
It's got a button on the side. You know what that button is? The back button.
I mean that's normal.
But, that's what I just pressed that by mistake. Ozzy, I'm not going to give you shit. I got to tell you honestly, we've got Chief Tit jumping on. Chief Tit's on. Thank you. Chief Tit, I knew you would love that legal thing I sent you. That was such a great quote, don't you think?
That was how funny was that? Did you tell everybody what it was?
You must admit it is expensive to pursue that option, but it's quite interesting. You know,
it is interesting. It is interesting, but he's right.
Look at that beautiful tutor. What tutor is that? What tutor is that? What is that?
Yeah,
exactly?
so I'm going on my road trip, and I've been thinking about this watch a lot. Because on the road trip, I'm going through like 3 time zones and, back and forth through them. And I could use a date because there's like 48 stops on the itinerary. And I just love my FXD. I just love it. I just want to keep wearing it. I just want the complication but in person, I just love this too much. I couldn't do the trade or the extra purchase. It's like, I just love this too much. It's
but why do you have to get rid of it? Wouldn't you just buy it and that's it?
I mean, they're 2 black FXDs. It's quite,
Well, show us that one.
This one, there we go. There we go. And I just like how utilitarian it is. Yeah, it is, but
I'm with Archie on this. It's a different watch. It's a totally different thing. I mean, once a 24-hour sort of GMT style.
These are tutors. These are. You give these away at your end of year Christmas party, don't you, tuners?
Well, the GMT is 5,500 before tax. It'd be like 6,000.
You can get a discount, can't you? Or you don't ask for discounts?
Not at the boutique. Like I've always asked, but it's not happening.
Tudor fucking falls through. I mean, I'll be honest with you, man. Tudor fucking plummets like a stone at times. But
it does. I think this one, although this is the least loved of all of the FXDs by far, I think this one I could get cash for it about 3.2, 3.3.
What is that one? What is that?
This one's the US Navy SEAL Team 6 watch. So all the FXDs are military issued. This one's for so not the Navy SEALs. This one's for SEAL Team 6 specifically, Dev Gru. It's the only US one. The other ones are French.
What the fuck?
I was talking to some guys on the on this sort of live chat thing that are punters on this as well. And I bought this recently. Right? You've seen this, Arch?
Oh, give us a look.
Classic.
the same camera I've got.
It's a Nikon ZFC.
I've got the same one. Hey.
You serious?
I've got
Is
the
it a
yellow
Nikon
one.
or a Nikon?
In a range of colours, right?
You're joking. Yeah, it comes around. I had to wait for the green one to come in.
Well, you got a copycat there for
I've got the
it.
yellow one.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's gorgeous. I thought yours was some vintage thing with that wrap, but that's
Don't you want them in every color now?
Same camera.
That's the exact same one.
unbelievable.
It's the exact same
And
one.
I got the 1950s. Do you like that leather
Love it.
pouch for it?
I love it. I love it. It's such a good camera.
You know, that's the same company that makes pocket protectors.
Yeah. Anyway,
You
listen,
know what I mean? It's just
it's
I
fantastic.
got an iPhone.
Show me that. Show
Takes
me the
perfectly
colour
good
underneath.
pictures.
sorry.
Show me the color underneath the protector a bit, so I can see the yellow.
Oh well, it's the yellow. See?
You said it is. That's gorgeous.
Wrecked them. Damn near killed them.
How much? And did you get many lenses? I've got about 4 lenses with. I bought 4 lenses.
I got the one that came with it, the kit one, and then
Yeah,
I got,
that's what I've got on it now.
This is the big kit
Yeah,
one.
you got
the 50 to 250.
Chief Tits
But
is
Yeah.
bigger.
I've got an adapter to allow the F connection for the older
big lens there, boy.
DSLR ones. So I'm going to get a couple
Oh,
of people.
okay.
Yeah.
I bought the macro one, Chief Tit.
Oh God, that's about $1,200 all by itself.
Yes, I bought that, and I've also got the street photography one. There was a what was it?
28.
There was a
something?
2.8. It's just a
Yeah.
prime lens. I bought.
Yeah.
I've got 4 lenses in total.
Fantastic. I love it. I love it. I've been looking
So
at.
I think you've got to get the macro. You know what, Chief Tit?
Yeah.
Chief Tit. I don't use it. I haven't used it terribly much.
No,
But you've got to buy that. You've got to buy the lenses.
absolutely.
Guys,
Especially
don't worry, they're gonna
with
talk about
custom-
pens next. They'll be talking about pens soon. It'll get exciting.
Sorry.
Sorry. But anyway, listen, I wanted to get onto something about this because I've got it, like in the kitchen, I took apart all this sort of stuff yesterday and got it all out. I only got it yesterday. It came in the box. So I've been waiting for the green. Anyway,
Yeah.
I got into this conversation about boxes and papers with watches and all that sort of shit. And I was talking to Timely about it. And there's this sickness about box and papers with watches and how they add value. And you know what? There's so many nice watches out there that are naked that are sort of getting ignored because they don't have this box and papers bullshit. And half the time, the box and papers are stuff that somebody's just bought separately on eBay. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Well,
that
the
was
box,
me. That
the
was
box
me.
might be, but
Yeah, but even the booklets. There's a lot of
the booklet can be the booklet and
books and
the
booklets.
It used to be. Listen, it used to be if you bought the watch naked, it was worth about $500 less in Rolex now specifically. Okay, but now it's $1,000 to $2,000.
Exactly.
You know, it's a heavy penalty for not having the box.
It's pretty fucking stupid.
It is stupid because you don't wear the box and you don't wear the paper. So I have a naked Pepsi and I'm very, very happy with it.
And I think that it's sort of started to creep into other industries a bit because
Really?
I was starting to look for these lenses like I was talking to Archie about just now on eBay, different Nikon, lenses and all of this sort of thing. And I noticed that some of the people that are selling their lenses are saying, oh, mine's got the box. It's sort of doing a box and papers thing now, but with cameras and lenses. Right. So other industries are getting onto this whole, oh, I've got the original box thing going as well. And it's fucking ridiculous. So just now, I unpacked this thing yesterday. I've got all these fucking boxes in the kitchen, and I'm too scared to throw out the fucking packaging.
That sucks. Yeah, that sucks. I wish it didn't matter. I think for watches, modern ones, it's the biggest signal that because it's so common to keep them now.
Yeah.
Not old
Used
stuff.
to be we threw them out.
It's so common to keep them now.
Yeah.
To me, the chances of it being stolen just rise exponentially. To the extent that everybody keeps the boxes and all of the paper. Now, the box you can buy on eBay, you're right. But the actual warranty card, the stuff that you can't just replicate, I think it wouldn't be a good idea to recommend to anyone to buy a modern Rolex without box and papers.
No, I got no problem for it.
Just-
But you need to get the discount.
No, recommend. You can do what you want. You can
Look,
do
I
what you
agree-
want.
About the new ones, I agree with you because it's at the forefront of people's minds to keep these things when you get them, right? I get that.
Yeah.
But back in, like from the 90s and maybe early noughties and before, like
Yes,
5 different
correct.
Rolexes and shit, it wasn't a thing. And therefore,
Correct.
it's like, why are you artificially making it a thing now when before it wasn't? And it's got nothing to do with whether the watch is a good watch or not. I think that
Correct.
people are putting too much sort of credence into box and papers for older watches. And I think that when somebody's got full box and papers for something that's like 30 years old, it's pretty fucking sus, actually.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. It's a good take. Good take. Like if it's vintage, it's vintage. Like the appropriate condition is worn well, and no box, no papers. That's the appropriate condition. Modern box and papers, unfortunately, and so you got to keep those.
I love those. That idea that Archie had about a couple of months ago, probably 6 months ago now, that he was thinking about trying to develop a 5-digit Rolex sort of neo-vintage mini collection. I love that. That's my favourite era. I know Mark's against me on this, but I love that.
Yeah,
sort of
you know what?
ceramic
I
era.
would love to sell everything up, Chief Tit. I would love to sell everything up. Look, can I tell you a fantasy I have? Can I tell you fantasies?
Tell me.
Ooh, this is getting real.
Are you sick?
I'd love to sell everything I've got.
Yeah.
Everything I've got, I want to sell. Okay. And I want to build a little collection. Let me tell you what it would be.
Yeah.
It'd be 90s to 2000s, that period of time.
Yeah.
I would get a GMT Master, maybe a 2, but possibly a 1, just a GMT. They got, the difference between the GMT Master and the GMT Master 2.
Yeah.
I'd get an Explorer 2, a Submariner, and a Speedmeister from that era, 90s to 2000s.
You had all those already.
I know. I never had a GMT, but 5-digit.
GMT would be great for you.
5-digit.
Yeah.
I would prefer to have tritium dial and hands.
$10.
Super chat, Terry. Thank you, Terry Boston. First super chat for the evening. Sir Chesterville. Thoughts, please, on Dunkin' Donuts. I know it's not Starbucks coffee. I tell you something. Starbucks
I'm the donut expert here.
Starbucks is so expensive.
So he paid for your thoughts, but I'm the donut expert. So you got to bring this to me after you're done with it.
My favorite. I'll tell you, my favorite donut I've ever had is a Tim Hortons maple syrup donut. That's the flavor.
Maple flavor is pretty common in the USA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but Tim Hortons is Canadian.
Yeah.
And they're a discount. Also, they're a discount coffee shop.
Yeah.
Tim Hortons. That's the way. I'm gonna take a photo. Take a photo, please.
What are you taking a photo?
I'm taking a photo of our screen here. I'll send it to you in the.
I don't mind a Dunkin' Donuts.
So Dunkin' isn't really out here in the West Coast. I'm really
Now I tell you
not
something.
sure.
With this camera here,
They're all
what
over
I
the
love
East
is
Coast
you've got the
and
compensator.
Midwest.
You know that little butt wheel there. I tell you, what mode do you run yours on? See, my mode, I run it in A mode. Aperture mode. You see the aperture propriety. So that means all
aperture means hole. So you're running it on the A hole. How about we look at a super chat and we get off of these fucking cameras, because nobody gives a fuck about these fucking cameras except for the two fuckwits on my left.
Hey, listen, cameras are cool, man.
They're really great. They're awesome.
I'm going to tell you, favorite
Vintage
donuts. Here we
pliers
go. Want to
next
get
week.
favorite
Okay.
donuts? I would say Tim Hortons maple. Marky, give me your favorite donut.
Hold on, he's talking about coffee, okay? If you read this, I know it's not Starbucks coffee luxury. So really, it's not about the pastry. It's about the coffee. And Dunkin', like I personally prefer, I don't know, Starbucks, I like Starbucks better. But Dunkin' is an acquired taste and I like it. It's a lighter.
Is expensive.
Starbucks, you know what?
It's getting expensive.
Dunkin' is a lot cheaper.
very
And Starbucks.
And you know, the worst thing at Starbucks is those collectible toys.
Oh,
They're
Jesus,
so dear.
The kitten loves that shit, though. I mean, as you, of course, well know. Okay, look, let's take a quick peek at this one.
Crypto Walker, $2. Are you going to address the Pocket AP and Swatch watch?
Yeah, AP is now made in plastic. Not precious metal, not
I mean,
steel,
if we want to cover
plastic.
it, I mean, I think they look incredible. unfortunately, and they're going
That's
to
okay.
be very, very popular. They look absolutely incredible. I think they're going to be very popular with the ladies.
Let's watch Archie play with
Hanging
his,
things off your bags has become very popular. So hanging an AP.
Look, anything that gives attention to watches and to watch brands, I think is probably a good thing for the industry generally, don't you think?
I was at my AP boutique this morning, and if there are 7 million new AP fans, it's going to be a shit show.
They make 40,000 watches a year, 80% of which are Royal Oaks. They sell nothing. Nobody wants anything from them but a Royal Oak.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't really matter, if they start making plastic watches and they get 7 million people interested. They make 40,000.
No. I mean, for me at the moment, I can just text my SA and say, "Hey, when are you free?" And I'll make an appointment. We spend like an hour together. If they have to show 7 million people the door in the kindest way possible, they're going to reduce the time down to 10-minute increments or 5. Say, hi, come on in. What do you want, Royal Oak? Okay, thank you, goodbye.
Get out. Can I make one quick suggestion when you go in there? Aussie Expat, just one quick suggestion. Do not grab and scoop up a whole handful of the chocolates and stuff them into your pockets. Just don't do that. You'll have a much nicer experience if you don't eat all the food.
So what do you guys think of the theory that if somebody is young and they get one of these AP plastic things like the Speedmaster version, do you think that's like a gateway thing that when that person gets older they'll want to get the real thing? Or is
not if it ends up in the bin. Not if it ends up in the bin.
I think it is a gate. Look, seriously, you can never deny that fact. It is a gateway into the brand because let's face it, AP is so unobtainable that.
But it's not a money thing that makes it unobtainable.
It's inventory.
Actually, the funny thing is, you can get some 1970s APs for like $1,000 in gold. Did you know that?
Yeah, because they're not Royal Oaks.
Jay Anthony, hello, Mr. Anthony. It's a USS Michigan. By the way, I've got that same cabinet. We've spoken about that before. It looks fantastic. It's an IKEA steel cabinet, by the way. I love that blue. I had the same. That blue is so cool.
These are from Costco.
Very sad news.
These are from
just
Costco.
Coming out is the BMW Z4 has been stopped. No more BMW Z4s. They're no longer. I think that's just lunacy. I thought that was
announced like 2 years ago.
I know, but they kept it going longer.
Okay.
And now they've finally pulled the pin on it. They had a special going away edition. But I would love to buy one, but I mean, I'm in a bad economic cycle. I'm not buying nothing at the moment, especially expensive European cars.
Camera lenses.
These are also from Costco.
Beautiful.
All right, fine. Let's take a look. Your plastic tubs are very, very nice.
I don't know why you didn't make the labels nicer. Cut the sticky tape.
Plastic
that's a really shit piece of labeling you've done there, man. And it's
it doesn't bother me.
That's how I label the dog food in the
How's
kennel.
your OCD dealing with those fucking labels?
I don't have OCD. Yeah, it's that simple.
I'm pulling your plonker.
I think basically, I think what's happening here, Jay Anthony, is that Aussie Expat is mocking Archie for admiring your cabinet because he has his own cabinets and his are bigger and cheaper.
Well, his say Nintendo on them, so I'm impressed. He's got his priorities straight.
You know who else who has that cabinet? You know who else who has that same cabinet?
Queen of England? She's dead.
Houdinki's got not this. He's got the thin one because I recognized it in his videos.
We know
he shops at IKEA. Houdinki shops at IKEA. Can you believe that?
Well, do you know what's worse?
Look at the delight. Look at the delight that Archie gets in knowing that. He gets a delight out of it. Look at it.
They have them in the peninsula in Hong Kong in the gift shops too.
Is that right?
Yeah, the narrow ones. I saw them in there last year. They had all the narrow ones in the peninsula in Hong Kong.
I believe we're talking about Aussie Expats.
You know something? The funny thing is there are no other makers to make steel cabinets with the glass. They're incredible.
Yeah.
What do you?
And for the money, they're amazing. Bang per buck.
Yeah, most
and
of
you know what?
But
if I actually had two of them, they were damaged in the burglary. They had paint spilled. And I thought, oh, you know what? I sold them off. I listed them on Gumtree. I got most of my money. I got half my money back. They were damaged.
Almost fully painted. 2 cabinets
And
fully
I
painted.
got new ones. I got a new one. I just wanted one this time. I didn't need two. And
They're great.
they actually hold value. IKEA furniture actually has value. Can you believe that?
Well,
Really?
this IKEA piece is fine. The rest of it, let's not get crazy here.
Just don't scratch the surface because it's all particle board and polyester.
I tell you how it happens. I tell you how it happens.
This is all metal. These are all metal.
Yes,
These
yeah.
are all
I tell you how
metal.
it happens that IKEA has
How's it
resale value. It's because they're never in stock. Like people actually do follow through on their decision making. They see the thing that they want. They go to the back with their thing, and it's just out of stock. So now they still want it.
Ozzy, did you notice Archie's reaction? The look on his face when he knew that Houdinki also had one from IKEA.
He's so up himself. Nicky is so up himself.
The delight.
It's just interesting. They shop at discount furniture stores. You know, I mean, would you be caught dead there? You know what I mean?
IKEA in America isn't actually cheap.
Like,
So,
I mean, I'll be honest with you. That's like
why you shop at Costco.
Ozzy, Chief Tit. That's like having sex with a supermodel, and you find out her lingerie that you've lusted after, and she bought it from Target, or
less or something.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
Honestly, IKEA isn't cheap. Not in America, at least not my experience. Like I look at the stuff and there's...
You know how these tight-ass rich people just amaze me. You
some
sometimes
good
go
meatballs.
past Costco and you look inside the car park and there's all these really expensive cars because those fucking tight asses have gone all the way out there.
Speaking of tight asses.
In bulk, so they can put it in the pantry because they don't want to go to the normal Woolworths.
Speaking of tight asses, super chat about Chief Tits.
Super
Tight
chat,
ass.
JD Gonzaruni, $8. Chief Tit, explain to Mark how extra wide and fast your Nikon aperture is.
Exactly. Speaking of tight asses.
Yes. Thanks for that, JD.
So,
I appreciate
I got to
it.
tell you, Chief Tit, I run it in aperture mode. So aperture mode, what that means is you basically, all you need to set is the F factor, the aperture, the F, that. So it takes care of the ISO,
f-stop,
and
I
it
think
also
you're looking.
takes care of the shutter speed.
Why do I know about
Okay.
f-stop and you can't even say f-stop?
So the
It's the
F
f-stop.
factor you can do from here.
I just
and
said.
it's
You're
up
saying
on
the
your
F
little
thing.
LCD,
Yes,
doesn't
and
it?
it also shows the number there. So
Yeah.
but I tell you the problem is with that kit lens,
Yeah.
when I try to do a close-up now, it only goes down to 5.3. If you've got
Archie-
the prime lens, it
Archie,
goes
what
down to
what
2.
ASA are you shooting?
Margarita, Archie's got the same. He's got the same camera.
What
He's got
ASA are you
he's got
shooting,
fucking
Archie?
Yellow.
So you
Yellow.
don't even know what I mean.
And he's got his little
ASA.
Yeah, what ASA are you shooting?
Well, that's the ISO. Normally, it's like you'd use an ISO of 100, 200.
1,000
Speaking
is,
of-
1,000 is better because then,
Yeah, it's Margarita
you
got
can
a
shoot
new
in
one as
low
well.
light conditions.
No, but 200 is good because you get more detail.
Nikki,
Look, Margarita got a new one too. Look.
do you shop at IKEA?
Oh, well, the Sony's really good. They're good cameras, those.
Yeah, it's the EV Mark II.
Oh, good God.
The SV10
Hey,
EV
I
Mark
got to
II.
ask, Jay Anthony, the MX-5, how did that compare? Your wife's got the your partner's got the MX-5 there.
Yep.
Do you consider that, like, it's not about the engine? It hasn't got a huge turbo engine. It's just a 4-cylinder, but it's very light. It's very light. Like, really, it's the smart man's Lotus, don't you think?
I honestly do agree with you. I mean, it has 190 horsepower. It's 2,000 pounds. It runs a 14-quarter mile. It's as fast as any car needs to be in traffic in the U.S. I mean, my other cars are, well, the Bronco, no, but it's too fast, anything faster than that for traffic.
You know what the problem is, though? In American traffic, the other trucks are so heavy that you have to be able to not just get bounced away like a golf ball in a traffic collision situation. It's not like Europe,
Which is the MX-5 that you like the best? Because they had lots of different iterations about the body.
He's got the current one. Hey, I tell you, Chief Tit, my favorite. Okay, so just to, I'll answer this quickly. Jay Anthony, his wife has got a white one, and it's the ND. It's the MX-5. It's the model is called the ND, which is the current model. My favorite MX-5, I had an NA years ago, which was the first one with the pop-up headlights.
Yes.
That came out in 1989.
Yep.
I love the NA. I never liked the second one was the NB. It looked a bit too... the purists like the NB.
Not even the speed one? You didn't like the Mazda speed one even? Not even the Mazda
I love
speed?
the C. I love the C. I love the C.
He loves
But the
C.
problem is, those Cs, for a good C, it's almost the same as a D. I'd rather get a newer D than an old C, wouldn't you?
I think. Are you a C cup, Chief Tit? We're just trying to talk about your barrel chest.
Not a D,
Where's,
actually.
have we seen Narc? Anybody seen
But
Narc?
you know something, Chief Tit, did you know the Mazda MX-5 is such a cool, people criticize it, but it's such a cool car. Fiat brought out an arbor version of the MX-5. That's an MX-5 underpinnings. Mind you, it's got that shocking Italian engine in it. You'd want the Mazda engine.
You're talking about that little Barchetta?
The engine from Italy. It just makes it less reliable.
Exactly.
You're talking about the Barchetta?
Alfa Romeo was going to do something with the MX-5s. I don't know if they did do it. Did they do
The one advantage you get with the Fiat in Europe, is that you get the logistics are good. Italy has good logistics. Same with Skoda from the Czech Republic. Those two cars, Fiat and Skoda, they got really good logistics.
Nobody buys Fiat in Italy. You know, they want BMW.
The Fiat you're talking about is called a Fiat Barchetta, and they're beautiful. They're very, very nice. They're very good-looking cars. I love it.
Oh yeah, and Narc actually made like a gold level appearance. I think like all day yesterday.
Oh, I'm sorry I missed them.
If you go back and watch it, the whole stream is hilarious. I actually saved it in like a comedy folder. It's so funny.
Nice. I'll have to look.
Hey Archie, I put in my Explorer 36 for service today.
Good on you.
The new generation. So yeah, amplitude low. I don't
Like in the
know.
180. To get down
It's still under warranty, but it's
I like 130. Yeah, it's last day of warranty is tomorrow, so I got to put it
Gotta
in.
rush it in there.
So would they? Does that mean you have to pay for the service, or what's the?
No,
go?
it's under warranty.
Smart.
Yeah.
That's really low.
Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy low, but timekeeping was actually still pretty good. It was only like
I gotta tell you,
negative
Nick Miller, you gotta get a
2.3.
fucking Rolex, man. You need a 36 mil Explorer. That'd
You know
be
what fucks
perfect
me
for
off? You know what fucks me off is that the logo, it used to not have the bottom part of the. This is such a small tidbit, I know, but the logo used to not have the bottom part. It just used to be a half semicircle, kind of with like a smaller inner part.
Now it has a hole.
So now it looks like an actual crown, but before it looked like a sunrise or something. And then I'm like, oh, Illuminati.
Nick, originally you said you wanted one of those, what was it, the Bath Escape, that blank.
Yeah, no, I have I got a fucking ball, what's it called?
I reckon Nick, you just get a fucking Tudor. Get a Tudor.
I have to be true. I have to be true, man. I have to be true. For dive watches.
Just get a Tudor and wear it, man.
I know what you're saying. Trust me, I know.
Do you guys remember when Archie had the same conversation with the homeless guy? Guy's living in his car, and Archie's telling him, "Well, so what are you gonna
get a Tudor, man?
That's what he's saying. Get a Tudor." The fucking guy's living in his car.
That guy. Let's hang on a minute. That guy. Let's just clarify. He had a Patek, and he had a big inheritance that came to him.
Yeah, except for he blew it all, sold it all, lost it all. He's living in his car. You told him to buy a Tudor while he was in a fast food restaurant, and he only showers twice a week. Because he doesn't have a shower in his car, and you told him to buy a Tudor.
He was a bit rigid. That guy was a bit rigid.
I just feel like you could have been more sensitive to the unhomed.
You know, I've got a lot of respect. When he was 40, he married a 27-year-old Japanese jazz singer. That is cool.
He is an interesting guy.
That could be cool or not.
But that's a PT session I've got to go to.
That is so cool.
See ya.
Bye.
Chief Tit, honor having you, man. Enjoy your camera, okay?
Thanks, man. Thanks. I'll try and jump on tomorrow. Bye.
Enjoy your episode.
You know,
yeah, see you later.
Mark, I
big
think
old
you'd
lens
agree
of
with me,
yours.
Mark, on this.
Big, thick lens.
if you're living in a car, right?
Yes.
Wouldn't you leave the state to like Alabama? Like I would.
That's
go to,
what
like,
we told him to
Mississippi.
do. He's in a high cost of living. He's in
Yes,
LA.
It doesn't make any sense. Go to Idaho. Go to
That's
rural Idaho. Like find anywhere.
Listen, the gentleman has got.
That's exactly it. What you said
It doesn't
is
make
exactly
any sense.
it. When
It
you go
doesn't-
to
you get a
Idaho
better
or
job.
Mississippi, Missouri,
Actually,
you can buy
Idaho's
something.
pretty-
You would find a job. People want to hire you. There's a lot of places that are in a deficit of people.
Yeah,
you know?
no, I agree with you, and that's what we told him to do. He's in LA, which is one of the highest cost regions.
People
Who are you
are
talking about?
fleeing it. It's a
I
tech
forget his
sector,
name, but nice guy, the guy who eats at Jack in the Box every day and lives in his car.
And
he's a
LA,
process server.
LA used to have Hollywood. That's now like drying up. You know.
No, it's weird, but you know, like Seattle has some of the most homeless people in the country.
he's the
LA
working
has
poor.
some of the
This-
most
this
homeless
fellow
people
is
in the
the
country.
working
London has the most homeless people in the country, respectively, in England. It's kind of funny that these high cost of living places actually attract the most homeless people.
Yeah, London was a mess. Like it was there a couple months ago. I can't believe how much it's fallen. Like phone theft was rough.
I've been watching.
I was in England the year before, but I didn't go into London. I was in Oxford for the week.
I've been following the situation extremely closely. I routinely watch this guy called Alexander Mercouris who lives in London, and he's a top analyst. They call him the Oracle of London. He's the most crazy policy analyst of diplomacy and stuff. Alexander
I've been watching this
Mercouris.
butcher from Scotland.
Listen. This guy's saying like the situation is deteriorating so precipitously, and then there's other people like I think David Betts. He's a professor at London School of Economics or King's College London, one of the two, and he's a war studies professor, and he's been going on the podcast circuit, and it's all about how civil war is now inevitable. Like it is such a bad situation. There's been murders tit for tat. Like there's so much stuff's going on that they don't talk about. Like it's really, really, really bad.
Archie, are you following the Simon Crane podcast from the UK?
What happened to Simon Crane? Tell me what's
said,
going on there. What the fuck?
Is he back?
What? Simon
Well,
Crane.
he never really left. Archie, let me catch you up on the conversation that the panel's been having for the last 5 or 8 minutes. They're talking about, I know you were a little busy and distracted. They're talking about podcasts that relate to London and England and the political situation and homeless situation, financial situation there in
The
London.
society situation.
Which is bad, which is bad. It's not good. But this is why people like Simon Crane started holding the political beliefs that they did.
Well, you know what's going to happen is if shit actually kicks off, a lot of people who are moderates, who are independents, who are even leftist and liberal, it's going to coalesce around ethnic lines. And there's a lot more people are going to be like, well, there goes Buddy, went to the other neighborhood and they fucking, quartered him and tortured him. And now I'm going to be with the white supremacists because that's just who's not going to kill me. That's what's going to happen if that stuff happens.
You see this here? This is a big stack of extended mags.
Yeah, keep them
Well,
loaded.
in America, we have our little friends.
Yeah, no, in America it's a different situation because it's such a big continent, so much economy, right? So you can just move to a red state, abandon the blue states, and you're good. Like, it's not that hard. They can fall apart. In Britain, you're in the epicenter of the falling apart. And it's like, okay, fine, you can leave it, but you're leaving your native fatherland. It's not the same as America where you're a settler. You can just move. It's like the spirit of the West, like Aussie, for example. If you go out farther west, that's where the economic dynamism is. People don't mind moving. Whereas if you're a 20th generation Englishman, you're going to be pissed if your situation's just falling apart like a blue state is.
Look, I got to say this to you. Seriously, the whole thing is you've got to realize this, okay? The world is in a lot of... Here we go. One up watches $10. Arch, when you're getting your APX watch, I got to be honest with you. I don't even want one. Do you? Hey, let me ask you,
Mrs.
Jay
Expat
Anthony.
want one.
Do you
Sorry,
even want one?
Mrs.
Want one?
Archie Luxury.
When they put it
I
on
think
a
it's great for the ladies.
I think plastic watches are stupid unless they're G-Shocks.
Yeah, I hate Swatch so much. I just hate them so much. They're responsible for the quartz crisis.
They've majorly upscaled this in terms of so $420 is a bit pricey, but it actually uses sapphire on front and back. Those Speedmasters were terrible. Like those things had the softest plastic that would already be scratched in the box.
Whatever it's called. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the crystal was plastic and it would just be scratched. But the AP one is sapphire on both sides.
The only place I want any plastic swatch is in my Happy Meal at McDonald's.
Yeah,
The
it would have to
reality
be
is they're not good.
The ladies are
You know,
going to go crazy. This is for handbags. It's going to go alongside their Labubu.
But the
I know what's in it
That's
for
true,
swatch. I
but the
do not know
plastic
what's
is-
in it for AP.
It's all
Yeah,
the
like it was-
material with the watches. Like, can't get plastic. You got to get composite, carbon something like that.
Well, they call it bio ceramic, but it's plastic. They have a
It's
fancy
an
name.
oily plastic.
Bioceramic
It's like
plastic.
oily plastic.
You know, they have a fancy name for plastic.
Bio, that's funny, actually. Recycled garbage. It's literally
much.
that. It's like bio.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, I don't hate it. I don't love it. I don't like it. I have almost no opinion about it. It's just, it's just a toy. It does amaze me that there's so much fuss.
The
about
dial
such
is
things.
nice.
Didn't
Well, it should be nice. Is designed by Gerald Genta.
No, the dial, but I mean, they actually, like up close, it actually looks nice with applied indices as well, or at least molded indices.
What would you
it's
do?
a
There's some
copy
lovely
of the design.
G-Shocks out there too.
So was
Like
that
the
Jay
Blanc
Anthony?
pen one looked good too, right? It's like a copy of the design.
I wore that. I tried that one on because one of my buddies bought that one, and it's surprisingly decent. The Blanc Palm one, like the bezel action is surprisingly decent.
It's just that they're plastic quartz
That is
watches.
right. At the end of the
what are we
day, it's a
doing?
plastic Blanc Palm. It's not a $15,000 watch. It's a $200 watch.
If you could have a bit stronger plastic, like seriously, and like actually, and then you have a replaceable, like fixable movement, even if it's
Yeah.
quartz.
The main thing that makes this like extremely objectively detestable is the System 51
Yeah.
being only good for like a year or two and non-serviceable. That's just like you're talking about $500 plus the modules. And
Is it only a
it's-
year or
it's
two? I thought
so-
it was longer than that. Are you sure it's
I've
only a year
heard people
or two?
talk about 6 months
Ozzy,
and they
it's
won't do
more-
anything about it. And they
I
won't
have
do
one
anything
that's
about
4
it.
years old that still runs, and they said it was serviceable, but the back is plastic. The crystal is like glued onto the back of the movement. So how they take it apart? I have no idea.
That's funny, actually. You say that.
They're gonna dunk it in solvent to service it.
I'm on a metal case. Yeah, I guess they kind of wrote the glue.
I mean, listen. Let's be honest. It's garbage. It's fun. Garbage, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
but they should be selling, instead of selling that at like Swatch boutiques, they should be selling that at like Hot Topic or Claire's, where the little girls go to get their ears pierced.
Every time I hear Swatch, I literally cringe. It's like an evil megacorp that like owns all these brands and just sells these quartz shitters. It just pisses me off.
This is going to be popular enough with all of the ladies that go to AP, and they're very fancy ladies. They've got very nice bags, and they're going to be annoyed that their AP boutique is not going to sell them one. And I'm not being facetious. I'm telling you, they don't want to go through the Swatch bullshit to get one. They have a good relationship actually with AP.
How many
They
ladies
would
collect
like
watches?
an AP thing on their bag,
Super sticker.
and they're not going to be able to get one.
Super sticker.
Aussie Expat.
Super sticker. Thank you so much, Mr. GMT. Stay sexy. $3. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. GMT.
So,
My wife wants the white one. As simple as that. She wants the white one.
I think it's kind of rare to have a woman that's into watches. Like your wife is actually into her Rolex that you got her.
But that's
stuff
unusual.
like that. That's very
Yeah.
unusual. Maybe
I'll bring
cool
up
for
the
bags
white
and
one
stuff,
on the
but
screen now.
Share screen. Share screen.
it's cool that she wants that though, Ozzy. Like your wife actually wants that. That's respectable. Like
Yeah, she wants
'cause
the white one.
As long
the
as she
colors
wants
and-
any
yeah.
watches, that means she has the bug. Just
Oh,
get her it,
that's
and
a-
the next watch, the next
Yeah.
watch.
That's
She
big.
wanted the land
Yeah,
dweller
it's bait.
bad. Like
That's
she
big.
she made the case to the AD. She's like, you give me this. I play piano. This is for me.
Nice.
She worked that one. I told her she had a chance. Like if she asks for it, she might actually get it. And yeah, sure enough. she did.
I don't even know that they're going to have them at the AP boutique. I think they're.
No, they won't. They won't. But that's what I'm saying. Like there's going to be ladies who are
Ladies.
fully versed in the AP landscape, have 6 APs, all open
All
work.
12 of them. There are very few.
And no, I don't think you realize. If you just go through YouTube and look at most AP YouTubers, most of them are women. like the ones that actually have multiple APs.
I'm
It's
just
usually
saying, you
women.
know, in the scheme, if you take the percentage of women who are into watches and then you take the percentage of those women that are into AP, you're down to, you could fit them all on a city bus.
You could, but the thing is, because there's so few, that they're the biggest AP collectors because they can actually get them.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
and they're not asking for
Speaking of
Royal Oaks
collectors,
because they're too big.
Jay Anthony, did you see Hoovy? You know Hoovy's garage. Hoovy's a bit of a buffoon. He bought
he
that
is.
Mercedes Gullwing, and now he spent a lot of money. He had it done by the Mercedes Center, and now the engine's fucked it up.
I did see that. Yeah,
That's
he
the
took it on a
problem. That car is a 1950s supercar. You can't use it as a daily. You know what I mean? That's what you've got to expect with that sort of car.
Well, it's the second time he broke it too. Remember, he put it in his living room and dinged the whole side of it up too.
Yes, and he
but
also
that's
left the
how
handbrake
his
on.
channel works, though. I mean, disasters are like everyone loves.
I don't think he did it intentionally, but
fiasco.
believe you me, you wouldn't do that intentionally on a Gullwing.
Believe you me.
I think you're far more financially responsible than he is. So let's put that out there. I think he's a little crazy.
He's got a lot more money
YouTube
than
channel
me.
does well. I mean,
A lot more debt. I don't know.
Look.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's I've got to tell you seriously, that's the problem with that sort of car he bought. Is a beautiful. I thought he bought a nice that's a beautiful car. That's a dream. But that 1950s is a horrible. It's so old, isn't it? Really, that's you know, like the technology is very. It's still got drum brakes. They didn't have disc brakes in the Gullwing. I don't think. I think they're drum brakes, and it's
I was in the Shelby Museum. Okay.
Yeah, Shelby.
I was in the Shelby Museum, and I was seeing all those cool vintage Ford GT40s and everything. And so there's a lot of people out there who have, you know, vintage muscle cars. But I was talking to my friend, do they actually have vintage rubber to put on these vehicles? Because rubber makes a huge difference.
Yeah, they make new tires that are old school bias ply.
Wow. Okay.
Hey,
and
Jay
they
Anthony,
suck.
The old tires were cross-ply, weren't they? They were cross-ply.
You don't want to drive them in the rain, and you don't want to stop in them. They're good for like Sunday cruising if you're like.
Okay, so they replicate the feel of that's cool. That's really, really cool.
Jay Anthony, I got a question for you. You know the Shelby vintage ones that are updated, like they're a new car, but they're like the 67 or whatever, 68?
Yeah.
The Mustang.
Are those are those good? Or are they like bad for traffic accidents because they're the old design and like I don't know what else could be wrong with it, but because that's like crazy. There's $300,000, but that's like the peak. If they're a brand new car and they're that, you know.
So you got two problems. So to your point, they're not safe by modern standards because there's no crumple zones.
Exactly.
But, I mean, I don't care about that per se. The problem with those cars are they're all basically hand built by some shop and they're not the same shop. So you're buying the work of the person that modified the original car, which could be great or it could be terrible. Because they're basically hacking them up, putting in an engine that was never in it, potentially fixing the chassis, the suspension. If they did a hack job, it could be a really expensive piece of junk.
Mm-hmm.
They're beautiful. Like the car from Gone in 60 Seconds, the 2001 remake, Eleanor, I'd love one of those. But,
I saw one of those in Vegas. I don't know enough to say like how authentic it was.
Ford did, Jay Anthony? Like Ford has the current Mustang. They did the reissue. You don't like that?
I do like it. So I honestly looked at Mustangs recently before I bought the Porsche. I looked at a GT350R because I like the flat plane crank V8, and I looked at a ZL1 Camaro. The Mustang has gotten so damn big. It drives like a full-size sedan at this point. I like the older ones. So like to me, after like 2010, they're just I don't know.
Have you seen the new 911s? They've gotten big too.
I hate them. Hate them. My old boss just bought one, and it looks like a beached whale to me.
They're pretty big, yeah.
They're way too wide. They're like as wide as a Dodge Charger or something silly. It looks dumb to me. If you see them in traffic,
is it because they want different driving dynamics, or you think it's safety or
what
regs?
They're doing is they're doing it for the Nürburgring style of those like that kind of racing. You know when you get the GT rate, whatever they're called.
GT3.
Yeah, there's a certain type of racing that's like those higher end cars, and they all kind of look like that, like a wide.
I think your point too. I think a lot of it has to do with crumple zones and safety and aerodynamics and all that. But it's not about making the car drive better. I can tell you that.
I tell you what, Marky, I like your Genesis. That is a sexy car. You can put dogs in the back, leather in the front. What more do you want?
I tell you also who was driving Genesis? Tiger Woods. Yeah, the Genesis SUV.
Yeah, GV80. But he crashes everything he gets.
Yeah. Whatever it was worth driving. It must have, the driving dynamics are good enough that he's like, I will do it.
He was a Tudor ambassador. Remember, he had the Tiger.
Yeah.
Tiger Tudor. That's right, the
ambassador.
Tiger
What
Prince.
the fuck went wrong with him? What's wrong with him?
Well, you remember he was pushing the Buick Rendezvous back then. Like he had the most random sponsorships.
Yeah.
Well, he's Rolex now. Rolex and Monster Energy.
Yeah, he's wrecked the GV or a Genesis. He's wrecked an Escalade. And there's another one that I'm forgetting. Maybe this is the third time he's wrecked a car.
This one was a GV80, I think. I have the GV70, which is a little smaller, but they're quite safe, which is why he was okay.
How do you like it compared to your that you replaced?
Compared to what?
The Lincoln you replaced before, right?
Well, I like it a lot better than the Lincoln. It's a lot tighter.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
That's
but remember,
pretty good praise.
It has much more technology. What we really ought to be comparing it to is the Porsches that I had, because I had a Porsche Cayenne, and the Cayenne.
I do want to ask you a question with your Porsches, Mark. You know, when you buy a Porsche, the question is: are you a prick before you bought the Porsche, or you're a prick after the Porsche?
I will say,
after you sell your Porsche, do you return to normal?
The answer is yes. You return. You no longer get the nod. You no longer get the nod.
But Porsche's just a soccer mom car brand now
these days, especially with their SUVs. But I mean,
I mean, not especially. I mean, they're mostly SUVs. They're mostly soccer mom cars.
Well, that's all brands.
They are mainly SUVs is the big seller for all car makers. BMW, Mercedes. You know, the sad thing is, I watched a video in Australia, and there was a guy. It's YouTube channel called Jerry Sells, Asian guy who does car sales. He was selling a 2022 Mercedes E-Class, and he said they're not popular in Australia. An E-Class Mercedes sedan is not popular. I mean, seriously, the SUVs, that's what Mercedes sells. Same as BMW. Their top-selling car is the X3. That's the SUV BMW, not the 3 Series or the 5. 5 Series is unsellable in Australia. Nobody wants it.
It's ugly.
Not that it's a bad car. That's just what the market is like. They buy X5s. And the terrible thing is, for me, car enthusiasts, I feel really sad because I remember in the 90s, BMW didn't sell SUVs. Mercedes didn't have an SUV. The Mercedes had a partnership with SsangYong Musso. You know SsangYong? They had a partnership with SsangYong before the Mercedes came out, the ML came out. The first MLs that came out were atrocious.
Yeah, they used to call them Alabama trash cans.
And then they've gotten better. Look, I think if you bought a modern ML or a modern X5, you'd get 100,000 miles if you looked after it. I think you should get that out of it.
As long as you pay for your heated seat rental.
That's why I will never buy a BMW, because I'm not buying any car which locks out features that I own.
So hold on, let me talk about. We know what the 2027 U.S. law is about having the car monitor you for inebriation. Do you know about this?
Oh wow. Well, also the kill switch as well. Kill switch is
coming. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
okay.
The car has to monitor you by law and decide whether or not you're safe to drive.
I just thought the kill switch was there for 3-letter agencies. I didn't realize that it was actively to be used. But I've told my friends, like, if you want a car that doesn't have a kill switch, you need to buy this year.
Yeah, they're
Also,
using the heads-up display. The heads-up
kill
display
switches,
watches
they
your eyes.
use them if you don't make your payments. I think they can turn the car off. Because they know where it is.
Terry wanted to make an announcement, so here it is. That's Terry's announcement.
I don't bottom. There we go. Terry, we'll give him some support. He's been a great supporter of the show. I got to tell you something, Jay Anthony. What's happening with your collection there? What's happening? You still got the President, this 18238.
Yes, sir.
You still have the Calatrava
Yep, it's in Geneva.
5196.
Yep.
What else is new with you?
Nothing watch-wise. I still have the Bluesy, my Explorer
Nice.
2,
Yeah.
my Yachtmaster, my Speedmaster, and a bunch of other random stuff.
Which Yachtmaster?
It's the platinum rose lore mix.
Oh, yes.
Platinum dial before they changed it to a painted dial.
Cool. Very cool.
I'll just show you there, Jay Anthony. This will bore everybody else, but I'll just show you. This is my current collection there. There you go, 5 watches.
Can we pause real
Explorer
quick? Because your
2.
tradition is going really well right now. The market's up. Because I went to buy one for $13,000. Your Brigade tradition is going up in value. Because I almost bought one for 13, and now they're selling for 17, 18 all day.
Nice.
Okay, fair enough.
That's investment.
That's still a lot under the ticket.
No.
You know, I kind of happy. You know what I'd like to add if things pick up? I'd like to get a Reverso in there.
Which one? You used to have one. I remember it.
Yeah, I had a grand date, but look,
Didn't
I'm
you have
not
the tribute.
picky. I would get a tribute. Actually, I love the tribute. Actually, I'd probably get a tribute, to be honest with you. Black Dial tribute. The other thing I'd like to add is Breitling Super Ocean Heritage. I'd like to add that on a shark mesh.
That's easy enough.
Did you have an orange one?
Yeah, that's not expensive. It's not expensive. They're not ridiculous. Second
Bang
hand.
for buck. They are good value. They are nice
Yeah,
value.
yeah. But I got to be honest with you. Watch market is. I don't think it's going back to the times we had a couple years ago. I think that was an anomaly. I don't think it's going back to that.
Very strange.
You know, the big thing that worries me with watches is that people
who need people.
You've got a liability. When you've got 10 watches, you've got to service the fucking things. You know, this is a big thing. And Pavel's being a bit of a cunt there, Pavel. Pavel, I mean, why say something nasty? You know, just nasty cuntism. Just nasty. Pavel's being a bit vicious there.
You know, Federico says you should. Federico Talks Watches says you should service only like every decade, or if even that, he'll service.
You service a watch when it starts doing something weird.
Yeah.
And, you know.
Yeah.
No, I agree. But I mean, if you're
says.
coming up to the warranty period, like I am on a few of my pieces,
If there's something wrong, then yeah.
you got to pay attention and look for it. Because, I mean, you miss that window, and then you could end up needing to service 2 years later when you could have serviced it when it would have been free.
Oh, 100%. Why not? Aussie, 100%. Do it.
Yeah, you're smart.
I got to tell you, Jay Anthony, the cars, you happy you got rid of the Z?
Yes, I'm glad it's gone.
You got the Porsche, you love the Porsche.
I do. Yeah, I do.
You got the Bronco, you got the MX-5.
Yep.
We've got Snake joining us. Bring him on. Mike!
Mike!
Mark. Archie.
Hey, Mike.
Ozzy. Hey, Jay Anthony. Hello, Nick.
Hey.
Hi,
Hey,
John.
Mike, how you going, man?
You know, Arch,
Good night, Grandma.
I was thinking today, I was rushing a little bit to get to school pickup, and I saw the BMW X3 in front of me, or it might have been X5, and they were backing up a little wonkily, and I had the thought in my head, if they scratched my car, like the bumper, I wouldn't give a shit.
You were going to pull them right
I'll
out.
tell them, no, just keep driving, it's fine. Isn't that a real luxury? Isn't that actually a luxury? I don't have to give a shit.
Real luxury is driving a beater that you don't care.
A Toyota minivan, a Sienna.
It's a beater.
It's 6 years old.
He loves it.
You know, I tell you
8 years
something,
old.
Aussie expat. You know, I used to do the school pickup
Yeah.
myself, and I must tell you something. You know, one of the big things that I miss in my life, that is partly why I've got some mental health issues, I don't have that structure of taking the kids to school every day and picking them up.
Empty nest syndrome.
And
That's what you have.
it's fucking crazy. Like, my youngest is 19. He's got a plumbing apprenticeship, and his brother, who's a year above him, he's studying at university mathematics. I fucking miss taking them, that routine. I used to take them in the morning, pick them up in the afternoon. That it was a great, even though they never really said a lot to you, you at least, have a good day. You at least had that contact, right?
You know, Americans really cherish that for some reason. The pick up and drop off. Like, there's a lot of extremely wealthy Americans who
do that.
who will outsource a lot of things, but they'll
Just
move
so
heaven
they
and
can do
earth to do the pick up and drop off. So Kobe Bryant,
you
for
get a
example,
chance to
did
say
that.
hello. How you going? How was school today? Oh, okay. But
Yeah.
it's. I think it's not so much quality time. It's quite. You want some good. You want time. You want time.
Yeah. Like, I learned that part of Kobe Bryant's contract was that he got helicopter flights paid for.
How'd that work out?
From practice. Yeah, I know. I mean, that's how it became a thing, is because he wanted to be there at pickup every day. So he would get from Calabasas to, Orange County. He'd have a helicopter flight every single day just so he could do that. And I spend a lot of time with my kids. I don't find it especially interesting to do
in a way you're giving your
pickup.
kids to the government, right? So you're not homeschooling them. So instead of, you have like this feeling like you have to get more time in, why don't you just homeschool your kids a bit? Like, if you're that interested in their education, when you're like showing up at your school.
I think it's good for the kids to mix with other kids.
Absolutely, 100%. But the education system's fucked. Like, if this was 40 years ago, I'd be okay with it. But my kids aren't going to no public school in the West. I'll tell you that.
Right. But Jay Anthony, am I misquoting? Am I misunderstanding it? Because I see it. I see anecdotes of like Americans spending, like I heard about someone who had cancer, and like they didn't know if they were terminal, but they quit work and they started taking their kids to and from school. And I'm like, I would want more than just taking my kids to and from school if I was dying of cancer.
You don't understand. It's a simple thing. At the end of the day, Aussie expat, I think at the end of the day, it's those simple routine things.
And structure, like you said.
I tell you this now that in my life, let me say this to you. In my life, that's gone. I actually jokingly said to both kids, can I take you back to school every day just to have the routine back? I tell you honestly, it is actually something you miss when you don't do it anymore.
I have a dog who comes here every couple months, and that dog has a driver. So the chauffeur brings the dog in an Escalade. Every couple of months, he spends a week or two with me. So the driver and the Escalade come.
That's what I'd use a driver for too, honestly.
Right.
That sounds normal.
You could Uber them.
Aussie, what do you think is most different about the U.S. versus Australia? Like, what were the cultural shocks you experienced here?
No meat pies.
I don't 100% know if it's truly Australian. But I worked in Europe. I never really worked in Australia. I did for like a year and a half.
There's lunatics with guns everywhere, Jay Anthony. Lunatics with guns.
Americans are very into celebrating their achievements. And Australians are very much the opposite, I feel. I mean, Archie, you can comment, Mark, Jay Anthony. And those two things can be really bad for an Australian working in America, because you just look like someone who's not performing very well, but you're quietly performing. Australians love being the quiet achiever. They love being the quiet achiever. They don't
Archie's willing to celebrate a lack of it.
They don't like being complimented, even, most Australians.
So what do Americans do to demonstrate that?
Now, I had a job.
They'll send out an email saying, we just launched a blah, 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 and it's got this metric, blah, blah, blah. Like, they literally, it's
Christmas card newsletter.
Yeah, I get you.
I hate that shit too. Yeah,
different work situations are different though, because I had a job as a machinist at the knife company, and my job at times was to like machine screws for 8 hours, little tiny screws to the 10,000ths of an inch. Okay. And I had to, adjust and make adjustments for the machine, the big milling machine heating up, and making adjustments and all of that. And at the end of the day, or halfway through the day, I would count and measure, and I'd be like, fuck yeah, I'd be stoked, like, yeah, I nailed it. And I had more contempt from everybody I worked with.
Only the Australians.
Just because I was stoked about doing a good job, and they were just like, yeah, everybody does that, And
Let me tell you the difference in our politics in Australia. our right wing in politics is called the Liberals. Okay, our left wing is Labour. Right, so you think, fuck, what the hell? So our right wing is Liberal. They're called the Liberal Party, and our left wing is Labour Party.
Yeah, but the word liberal is supposed to be spawning from libertarian, like that sort of idea of more freedom and stuff.
You know what
like
the most
that,
important thing with that, Ozzy,
I'm a libertarian, so you guys like it. I don't know.
No, like Liberal Party in Australia is absolutely not libertarian. They're the ones who actually took all the guns away. The Liberal Party.
They're like a British.
It was the right wing that did it.
Yes, yes.
But just like the Nazis did. There you go.
Ooh.
But okay, Ozzy, what the most important thing is that America has a business culture.
How could he have thrown that in there, Mark? How did we let that get in there? That's just ridiculous.
I mean, at the end of the day, I think the whole gun debate is kind of stupid. It's in our constitution. You're not going to get rid of them. So, you know.
Well, Australia has a queen. So if you have an issue with your government, you can lament to the Queen that something is wrong.
Actually, you don't have a queen. You're a little out of date.
I only ever swore to Queen Elizabeth. I never replay. It would be illegal for me as an American citizen to pledge allegiance to another country's head of state.
The Queen is dead. Long live the King.
So my allegiance might have fell when the Queen, passed. So is what it is.
Yeah,
anyway.
no, England and America.
Australia versus America. Let me tell you this. I got to say this to you. Australia versus America. It is a huge shock. Tipping is a huge disaster, particularly in New York. It's so expensive, and they want tips on top. See, in our country, American came out here. Actually, this was Doc BBW's sister came out, and she said, everything's so expensive. I said, yeah, that's because the minimum wage is $24 an hour. Okay, that's why you guys in America were making that a slogan to have $16 US minimum wage. Well, that's what we have here. Let me say this to you. Australia itself, we are a very small country. Sometimes, you've got to realize this. We have a population 1/10 of America. We're in the 20s. The population is 20 millions. I think 27 million or something. America's 250 million. I got to tell you, the big thing is
we're 300 plus million.
You have some amazing synergies in America. Like, you actually have all the cars in America. They need to get volume. All the European makers, they basically say to America, we need you to be a volume house. And then in Australia, they say, this is our chance to make some money as a luxury market.
Look,
so
Europe
what you find is a lot of stuff is so much more expensive here, not because of taxes or tariffs or whatever, although that does help a bit, but it's mainly because the car maker decides to peg that product as a luxury product. Okay. The other thing is, I tell you this here, Australia itself, we're relatively. The funny thing is, I looked at the taxes, Aussie. I look at taxes in America and Australia. By the time you calculate your state taxes and your federal taxes, America really isn't the tax haven I thought it would be. Singapore is much more friendly.
Did you include the standard deductible? I think you might not have included the standard deductible. The brackets are a little wonky.
Well,
yeah. Australia certainly isn't cheap. But I must say, if I had a choice, I don't understand why you guys don't all move to Alabama or Missouri, just buy a nice big ranch there and just live happily ever after.
Have you been there?
Europe has about 450 million people. Yeah. America's got 340 million. But the difference
I've been to Colorado. I like that.
Colorado and Alabama are very different places. I've been to Talladega County, Alabama, where they have toilets in the front yard as flower planters, and they have couches and refrigerators on the front porch. I don't think you would like it.
America has megalopolis cities that the economy is focused around, and they're only in particular areas, and they're very attractive, especially in the periphery. They're very sprawling. So if you're away from those economic nodes, you don't have access. It's very sparse, like he's saying in Alabama, for example. But America has 50% greater economy than all of Europe. And Europe has more, hundreds of millions of people more, like 150 million people more, 100 million more. So America is this crazy concentration of wealth in the large metropolitan cities that doesn't exist anywhere. And they all synergize with each other. Like it's like in a grid pattern. And, you know, you can't compete with that when you're just like a coastal civilization like Australia or
what I
even
find
Europe.
is so sad in America is, you know, Flint, Michigan, that used to be a General Motors town. I'm really disappointed. I'll tell you one thing. I've worked at big corporate. I worked for Kellogg, Brown and Root, KBR. And I'm disappointed with corporate America. Corporate America has really let me down in the sense that they only have loyalty. They want you to be loyal to them, but they don't give you loyalty in exchange for your loyalty. I find it really, really sad that America has become so fickle. I find it sad that a lot of the entry jobs that made America so great, so much manufacturing is gone, Ski. It's gone. I think that's sad. I find that really sad.
It's changing.
And AI, I look at AI, the IT industry, I can't fucking see a damn thing. IT, Aussie expat, you tell me on this. A lot of the entry level, like what's happened
I think
is,
it's changing. I think it's changing. So I called a bottom on the software engineering market about like 2 weeks ago, or maybe 3 weeks ago. I think the number of job listings is going up, and prospects in a year from now will be hunky-dory, I think, for software engineers. But I mean, I'm only commenting on that. I mean, you're talking about IT. Because what
it's done is, because they got rid of all these software engineers, they've gone and said, well, I'll do help desk, I'll do support. So those jobs have also become very hard to obtain. It's a horrible flow-on effect.
And H-1Bs.
You want to talk about Michigan? Because I know all about that.
So I got to run. I got dinner. It's a pleasure to see everyone on.
Hey, Ozzy, thanks for coming, man. Sorry, what were you saying, Jay Anthony? Michigan, tell us.
I actually had a full scholarship to go to Kettering University there, which is the old General Motors Institute College. It's a good school. And I toured Flint, and I said I could never go to school here. But it was Buick City, to your point, where they made all the Buicks for General Motors. And the union had absurd requests for salary, for benefits, and basically to get paid to unscrew light bulbs. And so GM said, screw you, and got rid of the jobs. I think I agree with you. It should never have happened. And it's sad, and it's now a disaster area. But I think two unchecked groups said F you to each other, and the town lost.
I kind of find it sad, but because, hey, Mikey, I got to tell you, one thing I'm finding in China is, let me say this to you. One thing in China is everyone looks at China. They don't feel sorry for Chinese or Chinese people or Chinese economy. But let me say this to you. The economy in China is very tough. It's tough, okay? China is a hugely incredible country. But one thing that it is tough, if you're over 35, it's almost impossible to get a professional career going. Like there's a lot of ageism and it's such a low level. And honestly, China is built on exporting stuff, and it's really sad. You use a DoorDash or delivery service. These are often university graduates who can't get any other work at the moment. Like there's a huge influx of really talented young people who are going to waste. You see what I mean? It's fucking terrible to see that also talent wasted.
Their real estate industry is collapsed or collapsing. Their building industry isn't so good. High unemployment.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's a disaster. Unemployment's never a good thing. I think, like even in Australia, that the true unemployment rate is much worse than the figures they officially report. The true unemployment rate, I think, is over 10%. It has to be.
Wow.
Like they quote low. No, this is in Australia. They bullshit. The figures are so fudged, it's not funny. You know, it's over 35 in China are all like Archie. Thank you, CB. Look at that, CB. Unions are the kiss of death for companies. Well, if they're greedy, they can be, CB. But don't also forget the reasons unions came out was because in England, the companies were such cunts.
Here too.
That's why unions.
Shirtwaist, fire. There was a lot of worker abuse, unsafe conditions, fires, all kinds of crazy shit, which is why unionism came around. But I think the unions are slowly drying up in this country.
Yeah, it's kind of, it's 50-50 now. Like, it depends on the job you're in, but if you're in a union job and you're there long enough to become a journeyman, like you have like tenure, you're set.
Yeah.
You know,
Look at this.
You have a life.
Marcus Mandel, same is happening everywhere. Tough time, including this stream. I've had 5 super chats today. Look at that. That just shows you it's tough times, guys. It's very tough.
You know, unions have a big history in America.
Show. What do you think? It was a good show or a crappy show?
It was a great show. It's been a good show, good panel. I think you're going to have to stop it in about another 15 minutes unless things perk up.
Yeah. Anyway, unions used to have an ideology called anarcho-syndicalism. They had a whole movement called the Wobblies, the Workers of the World. So it actually became an ideology of anarchism. And then later, after the 50s, the mafia took them over and they became political machines. So unions have a long fucked up history.
In America, that's not necessarily
That's what I mean. That's what I said, in America. But in Australia, it's the same thing.
Mafia took over management of their pension funds because it was easy.
Look at this. We've got a super chat from CB, $5. Thank you, CB. Saving, lifesaver. $5. Unions 30 years ago had a place. Today, they are just killing companies.
Yeah. So recent, actually, it's going to happen because Ozzy brought up Seattle is struggling. I go to Seattle a lot. I don't know if you follow the news there. The mayor basically said to Starbucks, we're going to boycott your coffee because they were busting up unions and closing stores.
Yes, that's correct. Starbucks is very anti-union.
So the mayor basically told the entire city to boycott Starbucks. So Starbucks now is moving their headquarters to Nashville, Tennessee to get away from the mayor. And the current minimum wage in Seattle now is $25 an hour.
Well, that cost them a little bit of corporate taxation.
Yeah.
A lot of companies are leaving West Coast.
I mean, I'm a liberal person, but at the end of the day, it is you need business for jobs in your city, so don't run them out. That's stupid.
They're leaving Massachusetts and New York as well. And
also
Illinois.
because the taxation is
so sad to see all these American companies outsourcing for points of profit margin. You know, they're shutting down like companies that like basically ran a town, you know, and like financially supported a town all completely, and then because they can make 0.1% more profit by outsourcing to China or to India.
I think it's a bit more than 0.1% there, Marky. Let me tell you a statistic. I want to share a statistic with you. CB, I tell my employees that I am the best union guy they will ever have. Let me tell you a story. Can I tell you a Chinese story? Can I tell you a story? I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but
story time.
In the bus, the heavy vehicle industry, buses, there's a Chinese brand called Yongtong, Y-U-T-O-N-G, Yotong. Y-U-T-O-N-G.
Yeah, we got
it. And in Australia, we have, but they used to manufacture buses here. There's a company called Dennings who did custom coaches, and they made. Anyhow, after 10 years, they celebrated they'd made their 2000th coach. Okay. Now, this is just to give you an idea of scale. Yutong, who was absolutely nothing 30 years ago, now they make 450 coaches a day.
You know what one blows me away is BYD. I remember looking at BYDs 20 years ago, and the bottom of the door was sheet metal because they couldn't afford to put paneling all the way down the door sill.
100%. I've actually got a photo to share. I want to show you a photo. Just give me 1 minute.
New York State taxes service. Illinois taxes hard goods, but like you have to pay tax to your, you bring in a plumber and it's all service. There's no parts. You pay tax on that service in New York State.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't think you pay taxes on service in California.
You don't pay taxes on service in most places.
And hot food too. You don't pay taxes on.
Like if
you go to the deli and you order hot food, like out of their hot chicken wings, not taxed. If you order them in the refrigerated section as an item, already labeled and you pay taxes on that. But we're so overly taxed, it's insane. Especially here in California. I mean, I just paid $6.39 a gallon for regular.
Jeez, wow.
And it's supposed to be going up again.
Here it's like $4.50, $60, $70.
Here it's like $3.80.
It's under $5.
Yeah, no, I'm
$3?
For regular, it's $3.80.
Wow,
Premium.
that's pretty good.
$6.39, $6.39 was for regular.
Oof.
Well, California, I think, has their own special blend too. That's only for California. So
we have that in Chicago. We also have that because of the.
I'm under constant pressure to move to Chicago, and I've been saying hell no because I don't want your taxes either.
Gas prices are high here, and property taxes are high here.
Yep, and you have state income tax too.
We do.
Yep.
How high are the property taxes?
Around depends on where you are exactly, but about 2%, which is a lot.
Texas will get you for like 2.4, and then but it's because you don't have the income tax. And then Tennessee, you don't get income tax.
I want to show you a 20-year-old Chinese car. You want to see this? I got this from Jay Anthony. I want to show you a 20-year-old Chinese car. Is it okay?
Mm-hmm.
Please. Yes, show me.
Just give me a minute. I'm just sorry. Give me a minute. Just I don't know why my software doesn't like this.
I remember the first time I saw one 20 some odd years ago, they were absolute dog shit, and now they look nice.
Here we go. This is a 20-year-old.
Is it going to be like a cart with a burro?
Hey, Korea used to be poor, and Italy and Sweden, then they all got rich in the 20th century.
Oh, yeah. I forget these things are called. They weigh nothing.
They're called a Robin.
You're thinking of the Renault.
Isn't that a Robin, the three-wheel vehicle? It's called.
We had something like that in the
No,
United
this
States.
is a Chinese copy of a Robin. It's not even a Robin. It's not even a Robin. It's a Chinese copy of it.
Oh well, yeah, they copy everything though. So, yeah.
But
in essence, that's a Robin.
Fuck! How could that now? I mean, can you imagine if you were a a manager at General Motors and you saw this sort of crap, you think, is Chinese going to threaten us? Don't worry, boss. They're a long way away from us.
They're a quick study, though.
Hey, this one's got mag wheels on it.
I'll tell you what, the Chinese are gonna fuck up the Swiss watch industry, and soon.
Mm-hmm.
As I said before, it couldn't happen to a nicer bunch of cunts. To be totally honest with you, I think a lot of stuff is already manufactured in China for the Swiss. Do you think there's an old guy with a lathe? Sorry, did you think there was an old guy with a lathe? Sorry. I'm sorry, Marky. That old guy with the lathe, that's only in the promotional material. They get that guy out for Battle World, for Watches and Wankers every year he comes out.
Battle World is long.
I think it's already been outed for making their bracelets in China for the most part.
But, as they learn to make certain, gears and mainsprings and stuff like that, they're just going to start doing their own designs. They're in the phase right now where they're ripping off.
Well, they're good at making
copies.
copies of everything and steel items. Like every rotor on every car from every company is made from rotors made in India and China.
Rooted rotors.
I mean,
It's their design.
even like
They're not
even
really
Ferrari
designed.
rotors, steel rotors, like Ferrari steel rotors are made in China or India. I mean, they have that whole entire market just like.
Let me show you something amazing. Look at this. So instead of scrapping this ship, right? Guess what they did? So this was an old vessel, right? It was a cruise ship, right? Instead of scrapping this fucker, guess what they did?
Turn it into a restaurant
Have
or
a look
hotel.
at this. Pretty
Like a hotel.
fucking amazing.
That's cool.
Okay, so what did they do?
Parked it at a mall. Ming.
They either made
No, that used to be ocean. They filled it all in.
Made apartments out of it, or they turned it into a mall.
They turned it into a mall, and I mean, why can't they? I mean, and what they've done is, so that's actually land now. The vessel is in concrete, right?
This is in China,
and
right?
Yeah, this is in China. I mean, what a clever idea.
You know, Shenzhen has the most malls in the world, I think, per capita. Like, they're really all about malls. You can go anywhere. There's more malls than grocery stores.
Shenzhen. This is in Shenzhen.
But
what a clever idea. An old vessel, instead of selling it to India to be scrapped, they turned it into, it's a fantastic.
Archie, we have the suggestion that it could be 4 floating floors of horrors.
And look at this. How's this? How's this for a little car? This is another Chinese car from 10 years ago.
Well, that one at least has 4 wheels.
That's a death trap.
Well, it is labeled as such, J. Anthony. Look at the label.
Otherwise known as a grease spot in the road if you get hit by a big car. They're like, what was that?
Archie, have you been to Long Beach to see the Queen Mary, the ocean liner that's in Long Beach, California?
No, I haven't actually.
You know what the Queen Mary is?
It's still in water, the Queen Mary, but isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's horribly managed for 50 years. They're just cleaning it up. So that Chinese ship, I guarantee, is in better shape and better use than the Queen Mary is.
She was a troop.
I can't believe they got rid of the SS American. You know, the SS American, they had that in Pennsylvania at a dock for.
Yeah, the SS United States.
Yeah, that's such a shame they scrapped that fucking thing.
Yeah, I saw it in Philly a couple of years ago. It has a classified top speed, so they know it'll do over 40 knots, but nobody knows how fast. I've heard over 50 knots. It's 1,000 foot long.
And now it doesn't exist now. They turned it into a reef, didn't they, or something?
They're still cleaning it up. It hasn't been sunk yet, but it will be.
Because they spent millions on storage fees there, didn't they? Mooring fees were huge.
It was part of a charity, and I forget the name of it, but yeah, it was a charity-owned ship for 20 plus years, and they had it to dock, and it was in a crappy area too. I don't know.
Not a nice part. Delaware River.
Yeah, it's across from.
It wasn't a good part.
The Camden dockyards.
It was across from Camden, New Jersey.
I remember when Camden was.
It had been gutted for 30 years. There's nothing inside of it anymore, anyway.
The funny thing is, you know, to restore that as a vessel, as opposed to building a new vessel, it's far cheaper to build a new vessel.
SOLAS requirements mean it's untenable. Yeah.
Sorry?
So there's a thing called SOLAS requirements, basically safety of the sea minimum requirements for like fireproofing and lifeboats and all that. That ship would not look like it does today. And to your point, it just doesn't make any sense. No,
and the thing is, it's got so much asbestos and dangerous metals in it, lead paint, asbestos, so much very toxic shit in that. Oh, look at this. We've got a statistic here. This is interesting. The Queen Mary built in a cement cradle with treated water that reduced rusting in the underhull. Yeah, that's a good idea.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Boys, I got to take my leave. It was a pleasure joining you. Archibald, I'm going to leave you in good hands and see you tomorrow.
Thank you so much for coming. It was really fun. I actually had great fun with you, Marky. You're a great guy. Thank you for coming on,
Glad to be here. Mike, J. Anthony, Archie, Nick.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I gotta say, the with the watches itself there, do you see watches going the same way as the auto industry, J. Anthony?
I'm surprised at how many people came into it during COVID, but not because they had a real passion, more because it was a thing to do.
You know, the thing is, you realize, like everyone talks about the Swiss luxury market. Did you realize the Swiss were actually low-cost manufacturers in the 1800s? It was the French and British who were the elite watchmakers.
IWC started in the US and they offshored it to Switzerland to save cost originally when it was an American watch company. Yeah, you're right. It was a cheap labor market, isn't it? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's funny how it turned into the premium. Sometimes I wonder with watches, I'll be honest with you, when you used to fly Singapore or Cathay Pacific, the older stewardesses would always have two-tone Rolex or a steel Datejust. Steel ladies would have steel. You don't see that anymore. There's now Apple Watch.
Isn't it sad?
It is sad there. I got to tell you, my enthusiasm for cars has died. Like,
Same.
I don't know if you watch that guy. You know that I think you know that he does Toyota reviews. What's that guy? He's got a car care something.
In Chicago.
No,
Car care now.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a European guy. He's a Toyota specialist. He does Toyota. And he actually did a review on a Mercedes S-Class and
yeah, car care nut. I saw that. He was disappointed.
Yeah, car care nut.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
And he has owned S-Classes. He's not anti-S-Class. He actually loves S-Classes. He said, you know what? This is garbage. He said it's not meant to last. It's all plasticky, finicky garbage. That's what he said. Like it's not like a W126, which was a piece of quality that you could respect.
Yeah.
Well, J. Anthony, maybe you can help answer this. Like, why is it that all new cars are being built this way, like all plastic up front? That I mean, is it crumple zone technology or
no? I think it's also in Europe, Mikey. They have special emissions. They've got to be able to say the car is completely recyclable. The cheapest way to make a car recyclable is to use plastic because it can be cut up into little bits.
Because I mean, I'm a motorhead used to big car frames and you putting your motor in.
And don't forget too, every kilo you save, it gives you more fuel efficiency.
Sure. But like shifting into this new car era where like the whole front of the car is one big plastic piece that pops off in 3 minutes. Same with the back bumper of the car and it doesn't.
That's actually not a bad idea. That's actually okay to use plastic for that. I think that you don't agree.
Yeah. Oh no, I love it because they're cheap to replace.
And don't forget too, everyone talks about chrome. The expensive cars used to use stainless steel. They didn't. Chrome was actually a cheap option.
Yeah, because it's plated. You're right.
But
yeah, exactly. It was just plated. It was crap. Yeah. The expensive cars had stainless steel.
The construction methods for today's cars are such that if they're never touched, never tapped, never bumped into anything, you're okay. But if as much as 1 mile an hour into a tree or a curb, and you have popped out, plastic push pins underneath that hold the whole front end of the car together, you bomb out.
Well, it'd be a bit more than 1 kilometer an hour, Mikey. Come on, let's
okay.
They can take
5 kilometers per hour. I'm just saying, like. It happened to me when I had my Subaru BRZ.
Yeah, but Mikey, if you buy a car today, like say a German car, there's so much plastic in it. Even if you don't do a lot of kilometers in it, the plastic will perish over 20 years.
Yeah, heat cycling and cold cycling, it stretches.
Yeah, not even if you.
Yeah, it gets brittle. It's old. Cross-linking. But that's how all cars are being made today. I mean,
Oh, we've got a super chat here, guys. Let's just steer this concrete boat. CB, $5.
wristwatch check. Yes, we've
My
done that
interest
yet.
in cars is zero, but my interest in watches is as strong as ever. I
That's
gotta
great.
tell you, seriously, Mike is an example of what's happened to this industry. You were talking, Mike, about getting a Vacheron overseas.
Yeah, I hope to still.
That's not happening in the short term because the economy's tight.
Actually, I'm doing pretty good, Arch. I've just decided to get back into some of my old hobbies that I was doing before COVID, and you know, whatever you're doing, you got to pay to play. And for a while, it was just focused only on watches, so I was able to collect. I was able to set enough aside, buy another watch after a certain amount of time. But right now, I got to split it up between racing my car on the track on track days, having fun in that, utilizing it. Um, just spent the money on a big service on my motorcycle. I may list it, I may not.
I thought you were selling the motorcycle.
Well, I listed it, but it needed a service. And
the motorcycle market, let me tell you this, I have seen is very, very tough in America at the moment.
Yeah,
motorcycle market.
I'm keeping it.
We've got Aussie Expat to save the show. Watch Talk. We need some Watch Talk.
Oh, okay.
Aussie Expat, I had some amazing chips last night. Truffle chips.
Oh.
Wow.
Was it real truffle?
Yes. It was on that boat. You know that boat I just showed you guys? It was on that vessel.
That's cool. Legitimately, that's cool. I'd like to go on it.
I looked into on my family property, there's a large field. And at the time, this is maybe 10 years ago, for $10,000, you could buy enough either almond trees or oak trees to cover an acre, and you'd plant them, and they were inoculated with the truffle spores. And here in Northern California, like wine country, it's one of the only other areas in the world where truffles, the conditions are just right for truffles to grow, like in France. And so I worked for a lady that had a big almond orchard that she was like literally just sitting on and waiting for the 4 to 7 years before they start to produce. But when they do, then that land that's just sitting there doing nothing, I mean, otherwise you'd be putting houses on it or something, is bringing you in like 5 to 8 pounds.
We lost our friend Jay Anthony's gone. Sorry, had to run. Good seeing you all. Thanks, Jay Anthony, for coming on there. Aussie Expat, let me ask you this, Aussie, as part of your investment strategy, the watches investments or allows, what's happened with the watches? Are they still a hedge? Are they still investments?
They're assets, but they're not good investments.
Has your opinion changed? Can I ask you that?
I mean, I think in general they're going to track with inflation and slightly higher as long as you're getting like real staples like steel
Rolex.
Yeah, Rolex.
Is more supply coming in? Is more stock available, or is the dealer able to hoodwink you still?
They keep the illusion pretty strong, but in general, I think this is more like 2019, which means it's not completely fake. In 2019, you were obviously talking about how you can't get anything from the AD, and I think that's true at the moment. You sort of can't get anything from the AD, but if you actually suck up a little bit, are patient and alike, you can get a Submariner date as a first piece, and I think that's a good place for the world to be.
It's a good start.
That's okay, you know what I mean? So I think it's a good place for the world to be. I think they'll keep increasing prices and the secondary will follow. It's just like how it always has been. That doesn't make it a good investment though, you know what I mean? But it's a hobby that you can get into without getting fleeced. I mean, I think it's never been the case that buying like $1,000 watches was such a great idea, because for similar money and similar, how would you say, appetite, you probably might have been better off just buying the Rolex and being done with it. I know someone who's got a black sub date. That's good.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't need anything else. Doesn't matter how much money you get.
It's all
You're not going
rocking.
to need more than a Submariner date.
We got the Rancher on. Hello, Rancher.
Hey, Rancher.
Wait a minute. It said Goldberg in the title. Where's Goldberg?
He dropped out. Had to go. Had to go.
I got to tell you, what do you think of this watch here? I want to ask you guys. Baltic. Nick, this is a watch I found for you. I was scrolling around the internet the other day, and I think this has got your name on it, Nick.
Oh, hey.
I only buy
Nick is,
I only buy like Blanc Pen divers.
What is this? Is very Blanc Parnish. Look at this.
It's a Baltic. Blanc
Nick,
Pen is from
is
Switzerland. It's French Swiss.
I said this is Blanc Parnish.
No, you don't understand. Aesthetically, Blanc Pen is the French Swiss part of
Just
Switzerland.
hang on. Okay, 1 minute there. We got JT, $2. Aussie. Did the Krispy Kreme method actually work?
Yes. So, I mean, Archie, if someone came to you with a big box of super fresh Krispy Kreme donuts, how would you treat them?
So what flavors? Now, when you brought a box in, did you just go for the standard glazed, or did you have flavors? Or a mix?
I usually do one box of classics and one box of
Or did you go in the parking lot?
2 boxes at a time.
Yeah, it was cheap. It used to be cheap. Like you could get like two dozen for like $11-12. Like it used to be cheap.
Did they appreciate it?
Yeah, a lot. So back in 2022, and I was getting a lot of watches in 2022. That's when I got my Panda Daytona. Krispy Kreme had a deal where the current gas price was the price of a dozen classics. So if the gas price was $3.20, you could get a dozen classic donuts for $3.20. So yeah, it was very affordable. So cheap. Yeah. But these days I'm buying more Randies and they're like $26 for a dozen. So they don't get 2 dozen when I'm doing those. So it does work, but it's a human thing. Like nobody turns someone away with pastries.
He doesn't know what he means. What do you mean by that, CB? I don't understand. Most Rolex are free.
He means that you don't really pay for it. Do you get what he means?
Oh, I see.
You don't really.
I don't think that works on two-tone anymore or solid gold. That's for sure.
Right.
No,
that's fair.
Mike, the mistake.
Archie, you don't pay for a Rolex. Hopefully.
You know, Ozzy, the Dunkin' Donuts, those donuts are sourced so cheaply that they don't make as much of a margin, but they make such a big margin on their coffee that if you're going to buy a single drink, they make in like the profit margins, you know. They can sustain the business on the donuts alone.
Why isn't this Baltic a good watch for you? Look at this.
It makes me sick. I'm going to throw up.
Baltic.
You don't like it?
Like a tick on your balls.
I don't.
It's affordable, but Nick, it's affordable, okay?
How much money do you think I have? I'm just investing in actual things before I buy watches. But I want it to be like 2% of my portfolio, you know? And I want to get a good collection, not a fucking Baltic.
It's $700.
2% is a very smart number. 2% is very, very smart.
Well, if you allow yourself some fun money, Seiko makes a number of great models that in the $500 to $800 range.
Gonna read that super chat anytime soon, or or we just super chat?
Super duper chat. We got a super chat here. CB. Oh, sorry, this is CB again. $5. The difference between VIP and non-VIP is that the dealer send gifts to the VIP. Non-VIP brings donuts.
That's fair.
Do you get VIP gifts? Yeah. Do you get VIP gifts?
Do you remember that penguin I got?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a Rolex penguin.
Yeah. No, I think they do a good job of never really letting you know how important you are. They want you on the verge of thinking you're on the blacklist or you're actually a VIP. You're like, they never really let you know how important you are.
That's a really good point. I think they learned that from Hermes, and Patek does it too.
By the way, I'm really starting to love Mike the Mistake. He's doing some superior trolling in the comments.
You know where that comes from? I think it comes from like Venice. I think those Venetian masks and their balls, and they fucking played all these games with people, the oligarchs and shit. So they fucking mastered those techniques. The super elite sales technique that you're describing. That's like a way to mind fuck someone, you know, Ozzy? Like they're using special techniques that they're symbols of like they have a way to build like a kind of avant-garde brainwashing tension a bit. If you look at, you know, French runway fashions, it's all about that bullshit.
Yeah, but isn't that what saved the Swiss watch industry, you know, back when it was about ready to fall on his face?
AP was releasing perpetual calendars. That's one of the reasons why it was saved. But also Swatch and those other companies bought up a bunch of brands and then kept them going, and they bounced back.
Okay.
So let me read the comment. What Archie brought is Krispy Kreme burps and sausage roll farts to the AP. Fuck, I love this guy.
Oh, Archie, I made sausage rolls recently. I did that on stream. I did not on stream.
Wow.
They worked out.
Yeah, you did.
Nice.
Yeah.
You did, yeah. I don't
But I tell you what, the Americans don't like it.
Yeah.
Don't go back to the Baltic.
What's wrong? Isn't that a cool watch?
It is a cool watch.
Why are we looking at it? What's the context?
It's affordable. Nick buy something. He doesn't own a watch.
Yes, he's wanting to pull a TPG.
Well, there was an affordable watch that was just announced today. The APX Swatch. That's not a bad one. That's not a bad one.
Well, what do you mean by affordable? Like under 10?
Like $1,000. But if you're gonna get a watch like that price, look at Squale, because they have an Italian aesthetic.
Squale.
That's actually like you can get those certain watches of them have like a sexy summer vibe. You're not going to get a good vibe off these watches. Like you got to actually get something specific if you want something that's even nearly punching above its weight at that price.
Now, have you seen the parody videos of the Urban Gentry and Squale?
No.
Oh my God!
From Bugzap, right, or whatever.
They're the funniest things out there.
Gunzap.
They give it to Urban Gentry with both barrels. Actually, you should probably stop what you're doing, watch the video now, then come back. That's how good it is.
So Archie, when the Moonswatch came out, I did interviews of people in the line the morning of. Should I do that again for the AP release?
You can do anything. You going there to get it?
No, I would like to get there to get it. I think you're gonna have to line up 2 days in advance. But I can certainly interview people in the line and see what kind of scallywag characters are doing this kind of degenerate stuff.
Okay, Mike's a mistake. I'm actually.
Do you reckon there will be a line for the AP?
It'll be huge because now there's precedent that these things are worth more than what you pay for. There'll be scalpers galore. When I did the Speedmaster thing, there were quite a few people who had Rolexes on.
Scalpers?
But this time around, it's going to be pure scalpers. It's going to be a nightmare. It's not a good look. It won't be a good look.
Yay.
What are you doing there? It's noisy, Rancher. He's very noisy
today,
the Rancher.
They're actually going to be releasing them in a lot more stores. So apparently for the Swatch, it's actually going to be at the Forums. At Caesar's Palace, not the one at New York. Because the one at New York, there's an outside entry to it. So you could form a line. Caesar's Palace are not going to allow people to form lines inside of the mall. So this could be quite nasty and vicious, I think. This could be nasty if this is true. If there is no... Did the New York store disappear or something? It's not on the list. So Caesar's Palace is going to be it, which is the mecca of watches.
We've got a super chat here. Archie, my Rolex AD gifted me what I sent you in WhatsApp and promised never brought donuts. He's never brought donuts in. But I must admit, CB is a big swinging dick. Okay, you don't get to that level right? You don't get to that level by just being a small collector. You have that. I mean, that CB, that's expensive, man. That is. I'm just going to bring the gift.
But I mean, is this a game about
here.
trying to how would I say? I give donuts to everyone who encounters me. Like I give donuts to my neighbors if it's the first time I'm meeting them.
I must admit, it is cool swag.
This isn't swag. This is
Rolex
straight up
cufflinks. And they
this is
sell
like $3,000.
They sell those, CB. They do sell.
These are $3,500.
Yes.
What, they gifted him these?
Yes. But
That's
if you look at his collection, he's
a whale.
Yeah.
That is insane. I didn't think such a thing was possible.
They love them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, keep bringing the donuts, big boy.
That's insane. Those are crazy expensive. I'm looking it up. I did think about getting them because I think they're cool, but ultimately I don't wear any double cuff shirts, so it's like I never use them.
Yeah, Rolex paraphernalia is kind of a weird thing. Like, it's really lucrative and a lot of people want it, but it's like a separate world.
I am dead wrong. You got to check this out. Hold on, I'll share screen. I'm pretty sure they weren't 6,000 when I first. I'm pretty sure they were 3,000 a few years ago.
How's this for a graphic? Have a look. Look at this. Look at this. This is an interesting graphic from Timely. AP Royal Oak swatch, expectation versus reality. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Very well done there. Hey, look at that. Okie dokie. I'm just going to bring Aussie expats up.
If AP was like a Phoenix brand bought by Swatch, and I mean, why does Briquet and get such a bad rap for basically having the same thing happen to them? Oh,
CB's got another super chat here, $2. He gives me or my wife something every year. Holy fuck!
But check out the price of these cufflinks. This is
6,000.
You can get an OP for that. Like, I may as well just gift you a watch. This is absolutely insane.
They want to make sure that you're not going to sell it on eBay, and on eBay it's probably double the price, and it's probably 10 times the price of what.
No. You can get these. Like, you can get these. When these first came out, like 2 years ago, they were about $3,000.
Okay.
And you like, not every SA knew they existed, but they're out there now. Like, if you want one, you can go get one
from an AD.
Yeah, you have to go to an AD. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I think these are very, very cool, especially this one.
When you're a whale, they'll give it to you because you're not going to sell it on eBay,
Well, I don't know about that. People who have money also like money.
Regardless, but I'm saying they give it to the person that they know will covet it, and they kind of evaluate you for that.
CB, so you're selling it? You're going to... What is it? That's the real... I mean, you love watches. Like, I don't think it would be crazy to sell such a gift. Please send me gifts at Rolex, but like, you love watches. You don't love accoutrement necessarily. So I wouldn't fault someone for wanting to sell something like this that was highly valuable. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, yeah, it's still very nice that they did it. The gift is a gift, and you're not trashing it. You're coveting it even more by converting it perhaps into another watch.
If Rolex's intelligence people are listening, you just got blacklisted for that.
Nick, when are you going to buy a watch for yourself, Nick? When?
I got to make a couple 100,000 first, and then...
The 2% mark is really good. I got to say, I am not 2%, but... I tell you, I think that
10. Let's say keep it under 10.
No. I normally say all of your toys, all of your tangible toys, your cars and your bullshit, your guns and watches, whatever you choose to collect, all of your tangible bullshit cannot be more than 5% of everything.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of people get really angry at me when they say because they realize they've gone way over that.
It doesn't
usually
matter.
Because of cars.
Once you've got a house, once you've got a paid off home, once you've got some investments, Does it really matter if you spent a bit too much on cars or too much on watches?
Over 5%? Yeah, I think it does matter. Yeah, it does. I can show you why, but you'll never believe me no matter how much data I show you. It does matter that you keep your bullshit to low levels. Because if you keep going at like 10%, 20%, this will actually erode your wealth over time. It will. Now, if you just peak at 10% and then you're happy with what you got and let it sit, and then your other investments grow, fine. But if you keep, buying and buying and buying so that your tangible garbage is keeping up with your portfolio, eventually your portfolio is not going to look like a portfolio anymore.
Yeah, it's all about percentages in the portfolio, so you can't.
Here we go. CB, $5. Decades of loyalty pays back. Never sold a watch or a gift. CB,
Nice,
I am
CB.
more than happy to take any of your cast-offs. Okay, I will gladly accept any Rolex cast-off gifts.
Yeah. I've never sold a Rolex. Never sold a Rolex. But also, I don't think the 80s actually care that much if you sell like a Rolex that's like after warranty, many years down the line, not a super hype piece, something like that. I honestly don't think they would care, ultimately. Like, I'm not an AD, but it seems like it would be very difficult for them to care about that.
Maybe 1 or 2 pieces, but if you downsize your collection to like 3 piece from like 20 or 10, they're going to be pissed.
They might notice, yeah. Yeah, especially if your collection is a lot of new stuff. But if you're talking about like selling older stuff, I'm not sure they would really care. I mean, part of it is like my AD asks me to sell stuff to them. So they can't care that much. You know what I mean? So they've got their own CPO and they get watches from customers, so they know it happens. And it's the number one business at Bucherer is Rolex. The number 2 business at Bucherer is CPO Rolex. They aren't getting those watches out of thin air. They're buying them from customers. So they can't be blacklisting customers. I mean, you got to think about it. Unfortunately, the ideal customer is the one that sells them back the watches after a suitable amount of time. And Rolex have reduced that time period down to 2 years. Like Rolex wants those pieces because it used to be 3-4 years, I think, that before they would allow it to be a CPO piece. Now it's just 2 years. So
yeah, since they released the CPO program, that's when the market started to get squeezed. It was after COVID, things were slowing down, and now it's about the margins, and they're dealing watches and they know how it's like when you flip. So now after several years, but it's because of the hype period of 2020 that reputation was developed, and they were trying to, Hermes it up. It's all a facade, really. There's false scarcity and stuff, keeping it close to their chest.
I think it's coming to an end. I honestly don't.
The status
see
is what they're looking
sustainable.
to protect. Yeah. They're just pretending at this point. They might as well just sell you any watch you want, but they still do the status thing.
Well, I think steel sports is still in demand. Steel sports is not quite as easy to get there, but solid gold, two-tone, I think that's pretty fucked. It's back. And the problem is they put the prices up. They put the prices up continually to make it ridiculous.
Yeah.
I tell you who I think is really hurting is Swatch Group. Swatch Group, but Swatch is their own worst enemy. They took Omega out of the multi-brand stores. They had these stupid boutiques with no discounting. Well, you know, it's just ridiculous. And Swatch continually, like what they did with Breguet, I kind of thought that was a good idea to increase the prices, make it more exclusive. But fuck, the stuff is very dear. It's crazy dear.
Yeah, I've been fancying getting a Yachtmaster 40 in rose gold, and it's just a lot more money these days, like 33,000 versus I think like 26 when I first started looking at that watch. And 33,000 used to be what you could get a gold Daytona for. And I'm not getting a gold Daytona with 33,000, anymore. Yeah.
No, it's crazy. Guys, I got to wrap this show up. We've done 2 hours. It was a good show. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you to Terry Boston, Crypto Walker, JD Gonzaroo, One Up Watchers, Mr. GMT, CB is the hero of the night, CB, JT, CB, CB, and CB. Without support,
Archie,
we don't
there's
really.
One more thing. There's news that Green Room got gifted a root beer.
Hey, this is ridiculous. Anyhow, Nick, thank you for. I want you to get a watch. I want you to get a watch. Get a Tudor. Get a Tudor. Get something that is going to make.
Blanc pen.
Man, you set ridiculous high expectations
it's
and
like
you
10
get
grand
nothing.
Canadian.
Get a tuna! Get a tuna! Get a tuna! Aussie expat. Aussie expat. Let me ask you before we wrap up this show here. Aussie, the world is not what it was before. The only thing we can be certain of is that things will never stay the same continually for a long time. What do you think, Aussie? The IT space, it's fucked. Is it coming back, or
I tell you what's really fucked.
Talking to people.
Inflation just printed 3.8%, and that's what it's going to be for a long time. And the middle class is screwed. Middle class is screwed. They're going to get eaten alive over the next 5 to 10 years. Like cost of living crisis, that's just going to be exponential. It's not going to be good.
It's going to hit Europe worse.
That's if you don't own a home and you're paying big rent.
It won't matter you owning a home when you can't afford gas to get to work. You can't feed your family. Like the middle class is going to be. Nobody owned their home. By the way, like everyone's got friggin' mortgages. It's not like they're a bunch of boomers that paid $10,000 for their house in the 70s and paid it off in 5 years.
Aussie, let me tell you a statistic for Australia, right? 30% of the homeowners in Australia have paid their house off. Another 30% have more money in retirement, superannuation, or 401k. They could, if they were pushed, the retirement funds could clear the remaining mortgage. It's only 30%. And then they'd have nothing to eat.
Yeah.
No, let me clarify.
Yeah.
If you've got no housing, limited housing costs, obviously you've got to pay for sewage and water and shit like that. But if you don't have to pay exorbitant rents, in Australia, rent or mortgage can take up to 50 to 60% of your take-home pay. So that's a massive
50%
cost.
mark is very common, yeah.
If you don't have that, like if you've got to, look, as much as you can criticize home ownership, the reality is, if you've got
I'm just talking about the economy in general. I'm not criticizing home ownership specifically. You're trying to counter the idea that we've got inflation with the idea that you could have a house that you can't eat.
But inflation, houses are also going up with inflation. That's a variable.
You can't eat it
well.
though. You can't feed your family with the increasing number that's attached to your house that you
even
can't sell.
Before inflation does that. Right now, there's going to be food shortages and fuel shortages. The gas price and the price of jet fuel is very high. And in Australia right now, a lot of flights are getting canceled because of the prohibitively high cost of jet fuel. So there's a lot of stuff happening, including in America, flights are getting canceled. It's happening more and more. So there's a lot more short-term crisis, including food crisis. There's a crop shortage without fertilizers.
Some idiot went and had a war with Iran, okay? It's because some moron decided to have a big war with Iran.
Yeah.
You know? But the reality is,
you thought it was gonna be like Venezuela.
If you have a paid off house compared to if you have to pay rent or a mortgage, you're in a much better position.
Most people, yeah. Well, I don't. The problem with mortgages is they're very sticky.
In your case, you've got $10 million in investments. That kind of there's nothing wrong with that as well. But to the average person, you're much better off to be unemployed with a house than unemployed with nothing. Don't forget too, Ozzy, you can borrow.
I don't know how that maths.
Property taxes are high. Property taxes are a problem.
If you're desperate, if you're desperate, you can always borrow against it. It's one of these assets. It's one of the few assets that allows you to borrow against it.
But think about what you're saying at an economy
no margin
level.
Call on houses. There's no margin call on houses.
Think about it at an economy level. If you have the average person dipping into their equity just to put food on their table, what do you think the economy looks like? Does that look like the middle class is thriving if they're dipping into equity to get their kids to school, to get to work, to put food on the table? Like that's not thriving at all. That's a nightmare.
I think you might be a little bit.
What, you don't think that's a nightmare? They're dipping into equity to put food on the table, and they're employed.
Is this a short term? Like, let me say this.
No, I'm talking long term. I'm long term. 5 to 10 years.
Nothing lasts forever. Nothing is bad forever, and nothing is fantastic forever. Nothing lasts forever. There's always going to be change, whether it's good or bad change. Nothing stays the same. Okay, that's one thing. That's a variable that you can be certain of. And
Agreed.
To be honest with you, the middle class in Australia, the biggest wealth.
Australia doesn't have a middle class. Like, come on, man. It's not even remotely comparable. There's a serf class, and then there's the politically well-connected, and that's it.
But hang on a minute. A lot of people in Australia have done so well. 2 key building blocks have made Australians wealthy.
On paper, with inflated money, yes. Like, my house that I bought in 1990 is now worth $1 million, and I can't eat.
But also the stock market with the compulsory superannuation, the average people now have a nest egg compared to being 0 at retirement. It's pretty damn good. But let me tell you this, the biggest wealth booster for average Australians was COVID. Most people a lot of middle class people became substantially well off because of COVID. COVID is not the evil monster you think it was, Ozzy.
I don't know if you looked at inflation over the last few years and the cost of living crisis.
Inflation is out of control. Ozzy,
yes.
It's out of control.
So I don't know what you're bringing up with the COVID stuff. Like, where do you think the inflation came from? Do you know the source of inflation? The government printing money. That's actually the only place it can come from.
Sovereign nations, they don't owe this money to necessarily other countries. Okay, guys.
No, but printing money is printing money.
Come back tomorrow. See you later, guys.
See you later.
Love you. Peace out. Peace out. Peace out. Peace out, dudes. Peace out, dudes. Hey, Ozzy, just stay back for a minute. I'll chat to you after the outro. Okay. Hi, guys. It's Archie Luxury. Guys, I want to talk to you about David SW. David SW, David SW. Guys, if you are in America, if you are looking for a Rolex watch of your dreams, in fact, if you're looking for a contemporary modern wristwatch, I strongly advise you to look at David SW. Guys, don't play the dealer games. Don't bring in chocolates or Krispy Kremes for your dealer hoping to get a Rolex at retail. It's futile. Please, guys, save your dignity. Keep some pride. Go to David SW. I would highly recommend David SW, David SW. If you're in America and you're looking for a watch, go to David SW, David SW, David SW. Hey, Ozzy.